as long as it lets us. According to this, we're live, and we've already got a bunch of comments, thanks to some short notice Discord issues. All right. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Mark Wellstar.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Greg. You too. Anyway, tonight's beer is actually kind of special because this has been a bit of a legend. Like, the original beer is a bit of a legend on the BA 101 and in our general chats in general for years, because this is the revival of IPA number 5, IPA number 15 from Hamilton's Collective Arts Brewery. Ooh, fancy shit.
Who has the testicle label? Who has the vagina label?
Anyway,
There's the vagina.
everybody's got the same. Yeah, well, we'll get into that.
I got that with the testicles.
There's the vagina.
We've all got the same label. Poison number 15. Fine. I'm going to skip ahead here. Let's go over to Mr. Ashley. Ashley from Sexton Brewing Co. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, thank you. Just another day in lockdown. So, yay.
Paradise.
That's all I got, man.
Yep.
Hope you're doing well, and cheers to everybody.
Cheers to you. All right, moving over to Greg. And how are you doing tonight, Greg?
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Frankie.
Oh, I'm doing okay. A little bit worried about the direction the U.S. is headed without great Donald Trump leading them. But
Fuck off.
we're going to give it a shot, right?
God. Build a wall around
If
Greg.
looks could kill, Mai would have just murdered you. Just saying.
Well, let's take a look over at Lady Lee right now.
Figure something out.
Right. Anyway, Lady Lee, how are you doing tonight? You went quiet. You're muted.
I'm doing fantastic.
Woo.
Thank you guys.
Perfect. All right, move over to Redbeard. How are you doing tonight, Redbeard?
I'm well.
You're
Thanks
well.
for having me back. Well.
You're welcome. Anytime. And last but certainly not least, we got the Fuzz, who's actually not last or least. How you doing tonight, Scott?
Just fine.
I understand you got a different version of this beer with you tonight.
It's Poison number 15.
Poison.
Wow.
It's a long-standing joke from Nick's other channel where
My
I
other
hate IPAs.
It's the same channel.
Oh, all right. I hate IPAs.
But it's like, yeah, you're talking like a lifetime ago, back when we did beer reviews, and every IPA we drank, you'd be like, it's poison.
Yeah, around Fuzz's round square table.
I remember that. All right.
Round square table.
All right, let's go over to the last, who's definitely not least or last or, well, okay, not last place in our hearts. Mr. Radar. How you doing tonight, Radar?
I am doing very good yourself. My name is former alcoholic Radar. You might remember me from such channels as Drinking in Canada, on the very popular Course Light video, and on one video with Redbeard. And I'm doing very good. Congratulations, congratulations, U.S. for getting a president that's actually a human being. And, yes.
President that's
Not just a robot.
Yeah, or whose wife is made out of plastic.
a president that survived the elimination round on January 6th.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was yuck. All right, I'm going to go back over to moi so that I can read the history notes, because, of course, we pretty much already know all about IPA 5 and IPA 15 and IPA, and, of course, the entire IPA series from Collective Arts, but I'll go through the spiels. So this is I don't know how many Collective Arts beers we've done on Beer Analysis 101, but I think Collective Arts is now one of the most reviewed breweries that we've done on this show, just because there's so many beers from these guys, and they keep releasing new ones every once in a while. It's like Bellwoods. But yeah, so there's not a lot. We've already covered this brewery a lot, but we won't go too terrible details other than to say the Collective Arts was founded in 2013 by Matt Johnson and Bob Russell. Johnson and Russell, along with the brewmaster Ryan Morrow, began brewing on contract space at Nickelbrook at Burlington Collective Arts and Nickelbrook opened a joint brewery in Hamilton to spin off the brewery a year later, and at the site of the former Lakeport Brewery, which I think Lakeport's beers, were they integrated into some other large brewery like Molson or something? I'll ask later. All right, so Collective Arts has since been bought out Nickelbrook's shares of the brewery, and now it operates as their own main brewery with production volume and distribution that reach across Canada as well as into the United States. After introducing the Collective Project series of seasonals around spring of 2016, the Project series has since evolved into a series of Project IPAs, beginning with Project IPA number 1 in February of 2017. A landmark moment in the project... cool. A landmark moment in the Project IPA series occurred in January of 2018 with the 5th entry of the Project IPA series. The famous IPA number 5 was an 8.2% ABV double dry hopped New England style IPA brewed with massive amounts of Simcoe and Citra hops. IPA number 5 was successful enough that it was brewed several times over the course of spring 2018. Collective Arts has kept the tradition of the numbered IPA series going, but number 5 has remained a legend and widely considered to be the high watermark of the series, with fans of the brew petitioning Collective Arts to brew it again with the hashtag Keep FIve Alive. Finally, in October 2020, Collective Arts announced that to celebrate the 15th entry of the Project IPA series, they would be reviving IPA number 5 as IPA number 15. Like the original, it is an 8.2% ABV New England style double IPA brewed with Simcoe and Citra hops, wheat and barley malt, as well as, and we couldn't confirm if the original had this in it, but this one has a touch of lactose, so Dan should be super happy. IPA number 15 was recreated right down to its original can design with the navy blue color scheme as well as the water artwork from Mario Carpe, a Spanish-born artist whose artwork was featured on the original can. And speaking of which, I'm going to pan over to Redbeard, who has both cans handy. The original, IPA number 5, and the new one. You gotta tell it's got the same kind of art style. Right on. Nice.
I actually thought both those art styles were variants of 15, so tricked me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the part I didn't know. I didn't know the original had lactose in it. That's kind of I just learned that before the start of the show when I was reading the ingredients list. I'm like, seriously? Wonder makes me shit.
I know some people don't have the thing for lactose or don't like lactose. Personally, I find if it's in the right beer, it's great. If it's in the wrong beer, it's not. You know what I mean? It can be good. It can be not.
You put in a little for balance, it's okay. If you dump it in, you're like, here's a milk stout.
Again, I've had some delicious not that what was that brewery that made that stupid milkshake stout mix pack.
Oh, Rochester Mills.
Yeah, those some of those smelled great, but overall that was not good. But I have had some delicious milkshake IPAs, some delicious milk stouts. If it's done right, I love it.
Voice of the yard.
Yes, damn right. It's better than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Rochester Mills, they smelled pretty decent, and then you drink them, and they're just ultra thin and flavorless. It's just, ugh. All right, so moving right along, any volunteers to read comments other than Greg?
Okay.
What was that?
I'll take care.
All right.
Chat, we have. Oh. Am I going here?
What? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Craig, Kemper Reviews. Cheers, friends. And then myself, Redbeard, and Lee say hi. Writing in your parade says kind of space. Looking for 15. Not seeing much Collective Arts anyways these days. Craig from Kent Beer Reviews is in the chat. Oh, he says, hey, Ashley. Hey, Redbeard. Hey, Lee. Okay, so he's just replying. Simple Jacks is here. Says, cheers all. Cheers, Simple Jacks.
Simple Jack.
Simple Jack is...
It's Jack.
That's your buddy from Discord, isn't it?
Just one of my guys that watches my streams.
And then
nice.
That Sensational is in the chat. I came for Lee. Back from my AA meeting. and Orgasmus erectus, I'm assuming.
What?
Yeah, I just want you to say it out loud.
Gotcha. And then, Greg.
Nice.
Greg. That's all I need, Greg.
Always comfortable whether she
I
knows it
think
or
I
not.
You don't want to read my comments?
Good God.
Jeez, that's so rude.
I have some
It-
people friends
it-
watching tonight, so
Nice.
hey guys.
Hello. 11 viewers so far. Wow. Alrighty, let's
Yay! Kenneth
let-
is on here. Hey Kenneth.
Vom Wolf.
So shocking. Nick has no viewers for years, and then you bring one girl on the show, and suddenly we're popular.
As soon as it's no longer a sausage fest.
As I've claimed to Redbeard yesterday, as soon as I'm here, you get more viewers.
Right. All right. So, all right. Let's scroll through. I'm gonna put Ash back up again. And what is your history with collective arts? I mean,
Well, collective arts is, I'd just say it's extensive. Haven't been to the brewery in a while for obvious reasons, but I mean, everything that comes out I get. At least I try once or twice. Been a big fan of the Ransack the Universe as my shelfie IPA, but that was sort of falling out of favor lately. But Beer told me to get another one. I think he told me that last week or the week before, and I haven't had a chance to yet, but I will. IPA number 5, I had when it first came out. I had like just a handful of cans. And as for IPA number 15, which same thing. I think this is my second or third can.
nice.
I've had. I think I bought. You know what? I bought one like months ago when it first came out because mine is dated November, so I think I got one right before Christmas. And then when I found out we were doing this review, I just grabbed 2 more just to have.
Nice.
There we go.
Cool.
That's it.
Alrighty. Let's go over to Greg. Little Greggy here.
Oh, hi, Nick. How are you?
What's your history?
So no history with this beer. It's my first time having it. But history with IPA number 5. Well, I've only checked it in once, but I do remember I think I bought a few of them. I don't think I bought as many as Redbeard, who I think spent like a jacket amount of money on the. You bought like 30 of them or 40 of them or something? Or was that Liquid Fart Fest you bought shit tons of?
Between the two of them, I probably bought like a couple, 240.
It's probably more like a fart fest.
I think between you and Chris, you guys kept Collective Arts going for a little while. The thing I remember about IPA number 5, and probably we're all going to suck its dick a little bit, I never liked New England style IPAs in Ontario. Most of them came from Bellwood, and I've never really liked the way New England style IPAs. And then I tried a few from the States, and I'm like, okay, well, this style, I can kind of see why people like it, because they actually have good ones. And then I think this is the first one actually from Ontario that I'm like, okay, this is a good one. They seem to be figuring their shit out. And it was pretty solid. I did buy a few of them, but not Redbeard amount. I think I bought maybe 6 of them or something, and had them, enjoyed them, and then they went away forever. I was always surprised they never made it a regular staple of their lineup, because probably better than most of their regular IPAs. But I don't know. Maybe the hops are hard to get. Well, I don't know. That's my story. I've had it. Poured it on tap. I've had it once before in 5 form.
Alrighty. Let's go over to Lady Lee, if I can get my mouse over here. Hey, Lee. And
Hello.
hi. Alrighty.
First, I want to say how excited I am because I think 3 of my friends are in the chat right now.
Oh boy.
And one of them asked me to marry them. And Shaw, yes.
I see that's that
We went away together.
Chantel Mozzarella.
I hope
Yeah.
nobody said anything to embarrass you.
No, but hello Jay, hello Kenneth, hello Shaw, and I believe Courtney's watching. Hello you guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting this.
Aw.
So my experience with Collective Arts, it's pretty simple. I've had their gin and sodas, and that's it. So we sell them at work, like the gin sodas. So I didn't even know they made beer until you guys were like, yeah, Collective Arts. And I got so confused. So there goes my knowledge of Collective Arts.
Yeah, they started as a brewery. So I've actually seen their ciders in their other beers, but I've never had one. I probably should change that. Anyway, cool. Well, anyway, thank you, Lee. Let's move on to the other North Bay resident. Hi, Redbeard. Let's hear your history of Collective Arts, and I know your love of them.
had every single numbered IPA except for the first one, because I think that was released just before I started doing the whole craft beer thing. But had several of every single one. The number 5 and Liquid Art Fest came out, and they were amazing, and I bought a lot of them. And then since then, no numbered one has really ever blown me away to the point where I've bought more than like maybe 4 kind of thing. But like the 15, I've probably went through probably a good 12 at least now. This will probably be the last one I have because it is no longer available in North Bay. Like Lady Lee bought one last week when she was at the LCBO, and had been to that same LCBO like a day before, and there was like half a case sitting there. So I was like, we decided that night that we're gonna do IPA at 15 next week. So I went to that LCBO and they had none, and I was like, what the hell? And then randomly I went to Sudbury, and whenever I go to Sudbury, I stop in their LCBO to see what different stuff they had, and they still had like 2 cases. So I grabbed one and had a flocking booyah. Yeah. There you go. History in your face.
There you go. And you bought that entire case.
And also, Simple Jack, thanks for being here, supporting me and stuff. Yeah.
All right.
I've only got one. I'm not as popular as Lee. You know?
Hello, Simple Jack.
All right. Well, we have 12 viewers now, so obviously popularity of other people than myself are working for this whole thing. So, speaking of popularity, let's go over to the Mr. Fuzzy, and we'll ask you, what's your history with Collective Arts in general? Have you ever had anything from them?
Mr. Popularity.
Well, you're popular around here. I think you got no more people than I do.
Local lore, local legend.
Local legend.
Local legend.
Scotty Too Hottie Myers.
That's right.
You know it.
Now my full name's out there, Nick. Shut up. What's my
Hugo Chavez.
Yeah. What's my history with it? I've probably had 1 or 2 somewhere down the line that I don't remember, and from what I remember, they're not totally offensive. They're not poison. They're not poison. I just making a joke. I don't remember. That's all.
All good. All right. Anyway, thank you, sir. Let's move over to Radlar, which I don't know what the point of me putting him full screen is.
Yeah.
It's got a tiny ass little image of himself riding a golf cart, from what it looks like.
No, I'm in the cockpit of an F-18.
Oh, nice. Still looks like a golf cart from here.
Becketville Air Force Base. So yeah, my Collective Arts, I've had a few beers ever since I've started. Well, he started his craft brewery thing. But within the last 3 years, I've had a lot of them. I've had. I occasionally drink the Ransack the Universe. It's one of my go-to beers because it's a very solid IPA. When it comes to the numbered ones, I think I've had 13 for sure. I've had numbered 9, but I think that's it. 13 blew me away. I thought it was one of the best IPAs I've ever had. I think I gave it a 9.2. You can watch it on the Redbeard's channel. It's on there somewhere. I'm not a fan of blonde ales usually, but I remember having their lunch money not long ago, and I actually liked it. And it was pretty good. Usually I'm up for redheads and dark hairs, but the blonde was pretty good. I've also had what was that porter called? There was a porter that was actually good. Can't remember the name, but anyways.
Oh, Stranger Than Fiction.
Yes, that's the one. I've had it with that one with Guy. That one was pretty good. I don't think I've had one bad beer from Collective Arts so far. I've had I'm looking at them right now. The Mothership. Radio the Mothership. I've had that one before. That one was pretty good. I'm looking at the other ones here. Which ones I've had? Not many, but I've drank a lot. When I used to go to the bar there in Ottawa, they had Ransack the Universe, and that was like my go-to. It was either that or shitty other shit. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I love Collective Arts. Yeah. Oh, Altogether IPA. I've had that one before. That was.
Oh yeah, the Altogether one. Yeah, I remember that. But I don't think I had the Collective Arts version of it.
Good. I'm pretty sure it was good. But I've seen a lot of them that I would love to try. if anybody has remembers not the Life in the Clouds IPA, I would like to see that one, and I would like to see.
We'll probably wind up brewing that again.
Way before hashtags, actually.
Way before hashtags. Hashtags. Way before hashtags.
Was that directed at me?
Have you had that one before, or anybody?
I missed the joke. No, I have not. Life in the Clouds, you could probably pick up at a grocery store, to be honest.
Yeah, our grocery stores here do not.
Life in the Clouds is really good if it's fresh. It falls off
Oh yeah.
pretty quick though. When it does, it becomes a thing that I'm not a fan of personally.
Okay.
All right. Let's pan over to myself because it's my turn to talk. Yay! As far like Collective Arts, I've been to the brewery I think twice now. On trips to the Albanarana Beer Fest in both 18 and 19, I think 2018.
I was with you one time.
Yeah, you went with me the second time that I went. It was just you and me, and you hated the brewery. But in the previous,
I love the brewery. I don't like their actual tap room kind of. It's so small. And
well, that's what I meant. Like when we walked into the brewery, you were like, "I hate the layout of this place," basically. And
very
like, the first time we were there, I think it was with Jamie and Joe and Chris, and they were all like, we sat down for a while and drank a few beers. Joe reviewed some in the little room they have with all the cans around the walls. And anyway, so moving along from that, I mean, there's a huge amount of Collective Arts beers. I go on Untapped and I see that I've had at least 17 different beers from Collective Arts, like Stranger Than Fiction. I think the first one I ever had from was Saint of Circumstance, all the way back in 2014. And
I had that one too.
Yeah, and like Stranger Than Fiction, Ransack the Universe, Life in the Clouds, Jam Up the Mash, Mash Up the Jam, the same beer. And as far as the IPA numbered series goes, I've had number one, the first one, number 3, because those two actually, 1, 2, and 3 showed up here in New Brunswick. And I think number 4 showed up here too, which I didn't have. I only had the 1 and the 3. I might have had the 4, I'm not sure. I looked at the can and I couldn't remember it, but I never tapped it. 5 and 6. I had to go to Ontario to get number 5. I was disappointed with that because everybody's like raving about it, and it's like the first one of the series that doesn't show up here. Because at first I thought the IPA numbered series was kind of boring because the first two I had were like, it's a so-so IPA, and then all of a sudden number 5 blows up, and I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to get that here, and it never shows up. But Chris saved me a can. Chris Lezak saved me a can, and I ended up going and drinking that at his place when I was staying up there in 2018. Number 6, somebody sent me a number 6, and somebody sent me a number 8, and we did beer analysis on 6 and 8 both. I had a number 9 at Redbeard's place, and number 10 had just come out at the 2019 Albanarana Beer Fest, so I picked one of those up at the brewery and brought it home with me, and I drank it. It was alright. It was the Nano IPA. It was just kind of meh. But IPA number 14 and number 15 have actually shown up here, amazingly enough. So, when I saw that IPA number 15 was not only the rebrew of IPA number 5, but the also showed up here in New Brunswick, I was kind of stoked and like, okay, we got to do a beer analysis. I was actually, before it came here, I was trying to get somebody like Greg to send me one, and I wasn't having much luck trying to get a can of it until all of a sudden we got tons of them. Granted, they're $6 a piece here, but I'm glad that I got to try number 15 at least. So I don't want to get too many spoilers about this, but
told me to go to the store and go buy it.
Yeah, that's your history with the beer.
I'm not sure if you mentioned this, Nick, but I was just scrolling through. According to YouTube, just going through with search Redbeard Collective Arts, I've had roughly 39 different beers of theirs.
Holy shit!
And then this one came up here as well.
Yeah,
number 9 together.
Yeah, that's our duo review, and you can see I'm drinking it out of your glass. Either that, or you're drinking out of that glass.
No, I think we both.
It was pre-COVID times, so there's no cooties or anything going by drinking. That's the thing we used to do back in the day when we could actually touch lips and shit.
Yeah,
okay, that sounds weird.
You want to try this beer? And you'd be like, yeah, I'll try this beer. And
all right.
Oh my god, it's like you touched mouths.
Have you ever considered touching lips?
All right, so
speaking
of touching lips, let's go read all kind of the Lady Lee's love mail here in the in the chat. Anybody want to
Yeah,
pick it up
seriously.
where did we leave off?
Oh God. Yeah, no, I know where we are.
Ladies love, yeah, it's good.
We're at Cheers, guys and gals.
Okay, so we left off with Greg.
Because it's Greg.
Then we have Von Wolf says, "Cheers, guys and gals. Hi. I'm just finding out about this now. I'm assuming they are referring to Lady Lee being on a beer review. I'm not too sure.
No, it's a channel. He thought it was really cool about like everyone hanging out and reviewing beers. So he
Nice.
thought this was awesome.
People drink beer on YouTube. People do everything on PeerTube.
Let's make
All right.
beer great again.
Gathering together and doing this.
People don't know this is a thing. And then Simple Jack as... Okay, is it just Simple Jacks?
Yeah, just Simple Jack, like from fucking Tropic Thunder.
Simple Jack, that's how it works, guys. Right on. And then Chantel Mozzarella says, "I can't stay, but I wanted to ask Lee to marry me." Simple Jack's laughs. The sensational. Is this a beer review or a Lee review?
It's both. Both.
Says the Mozzarella.
It's a Lee review. 10 out of 10.
And this chat
Love it or leave it.
Lee. My God, she said hi. I'm never going to wash these ears. Mozzarella says, "Lee, I want your babies. Also, why did you ask me to join after I've had 2 drinks?" Amy prayed. Had 2 to 3 collective arts beers. Solid stuff. I can't believe he's only had 2 to 3 since they're getting pretty good distro now.
Good shit tons of it.
Someone's getting excited over Sudbury. Cheers, Red. This chat is like a Lee circle jerk. What?
Greg.
Greg.
We don't have a choice, Greg. Greg's just gonna do it anyway.
I'm gonna go with Red.
Well, can I go inside or do I have to stand by the window?
Von Wolf says Collective Arts has a banger lineup. The Mozzarella says, "Lady Lee, thanks for showing me this. Have a great time. Have fun, everyone. Lee, I miss you and stay awesome. You wonderful human you." Oh, that sensational says, "Hello, cockpit," and I heard Beavis and Butthead in my head. That was funny. Parties,
You said cock.
A lot of dick hanging on going on there. A lot of hug kisses. Craig from Camp Beer Review says their Imperial Porter is fantastic.
Craig?
Not wrong.
I add that I've had I've had a few of the Origins of Darkness series, although not all of them are porters.
Did you bring one of
I
the
had
Origins
a few
of
of those
Darkness? Did you bring one of those to one of the bottle shares, the Chris's or something?
I didn't.
I feel like somebody brought one to
Somewhere.
I've had a couple that they're really good beers.
Simple Jack says, "Sorry, Red, I'm going to start following Lee. She's better to look at." Boom!
If you want to follow me, I'm on Redbeard's channel a lot. There you go.
Pretty sure he was there watching when we were playing the Forest last night, so yeah.
Lately, you can have a fans only page. Make a fans only page.
Like,
Lately.
oh, what for OnlyFans?
I'm so red right now. Let's just read the comments. I can't do this.
Fans only page.
Take my money, you bearded woman.
Yes, you can read the Teku Murray ones.
Lee just became a terrorist or something over there. It's fucking hilarious.
God.
Dude.
Yeah, why did the beard turn on?
Latest terrorist tax
Actually,
for
number
white
shit.
southerners.
Not even close to number 5. I'd rather drink Spark Le Puff. And then he mentions that I look like a homemade bomb maker / male
Oh, God.
mailer in training.
It's funny, I watched a random documentary on the Unabomber yesterday, and you kind of resemble a little bit him.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What would be your ideal beer? Let's make it. Made, says Rick D. Good question.
Okay.
No, that's a good question. You have an OnlyFans. Hey, raining in your parade. Should have read beer.
23% barrel-aged
Comments,
Imperial
assets. There we go. That's where we're at. What would be your ideal beer? Let's make it. Made. Oh, I don't know.
A triple IPA.
Rick D.
I always wanted to make
Is that
an Imperial Sour Blackberry Milkshake IPA.
Rick?
What? No.
As weird as
Rick-
that might
Rick-
sound,
Oh,
yeah, that's right, Ashley. You probably fucking
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, Rick D, is that you, Rich? Let me know. All right. Bylog. Okay, you've already read this. Teku Murray's not important enough to read his comments anyway. So let's go back and talk about anybody. Anybody ready to form a formative opinion over this beer?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Well, I'm first. Somebody else will go, right? So.
Of course. So then everybody else can just
alphabetically, you go first.
Go, Ashley. Go.
You go first then. I don't care.
It was a joke, but like, no, I'm not gonna fucking be any more impressive. I will though. Why not? I like this a lot. I can't like what fucking you were saying in the comments there, like about comparing this to 5. I honestly can't really because it's been so long since 5 came out. Like when 5 came out, there weren't good examples of like a nice hazy, juicy double IPA that you could just get. Like it was kind of a very new thing, and when 5 came out, it was like, this is amazing. I've never had anything like this kind of thing. Like I imagine you probably has because he's fancy and stuff, but I had never had anything like that. And I'm sure a few of us were kind of in that same boat. But now 15's come around, and apparently it's the exact same recipe, but now it's good, but it's not even close to blowing my mind like 5 did. Like, I like it a lot. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it. It smells great. It tastes great. There's zero hint at all of the high ABV. You never know that's 8.2%. Easily, like I already have on a couple nights, drank like 3 or 4 of these and been like, fucking hammered. But
I know. It was
like for the style, I'm gonna give that a pretty solid 9. And personal enjoyment, I'm pretty sure this was like one of the beers I gave like an 11 to back in the day. Although it had no ingredients on the can, so maybe not. But I don't know. 9 for style and overall enjoyment. Myself right now, solid 8. It's a very, very tasty beer.
Okay. I'm wondering, like, I thought we were going with Ashley first, so, or are you leaving or something?
No, we Ashley said go ahead, and I went ahead.
All right. Okay, I missed that part.
Up the order.
I went looking at something online. So
mess around the order because you were so drunk. We were trying to fuck with you. This time we're just doing it because why not?
I'm not drunk. I just look away for a second. All of a sudden, Redbeard's talking, which isn't new. I mean, Redbeard's always talking.
Oh, funny joke.
Oh. All right, let's go back to Ashley.
You know, I haven't heard the phrase "shut up, Redbeard" in over a week.
It's been said at least 3 times in this chat. But,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. I heard "shut up, Ewart" and "shut up, Greg." Maybe.
Yeah, but Ewart tells everybody to shut up.
Yeah.
So I will agree with Redbeard in that you can't really fairly compare this to number 5 because it's been 2.5 years, 3 years since we've had number 5, right? So I don't know how good everyone else is remembering and how it is, but I couldn't unless I wrote down a detailed note, which I probably didn't. So, but it does say on the can. It says actually, it's funny. I always wondered. It just says rebrew IPA number 5. And they actually put that little hashtag in there, which I thought was
Keep 5 alive.
I don't even remember ever there being lactose in here, but it sort of reinforces what my thoughts are. But having had this, I would have never thought that there was lactose in it, to be completely honest. Now, for me, the nose and the taste are pretty much the same thing. They both smell and sort of taste the exact same, which for me is just overripe pineapple and like a sweet orange. So it's very like navel orangey, and then you get a sweetness and a tartness from like a pineapple. And then now that it's really warm, you get that funky, that cat pee funkiness on the nose. I thought it was a little bit more carbonated than I would have thought, like a New England or something of this size would have been. A little bit more effervescent than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's not gassy or anything like that. But I really get the appeal of this beer because you get an 8.2% banger. It's super easy to drink. It's nice and soft on the palate. And it hides the alcohol really well. I mean, really, you can't fault it. I can definitely see how this would be like an 11 out of 10 on a lot of people's scales. For me, sorry, go on.
I was gonna just go quickly. It ages decently too. Like the cans we all have, I'm pretty sure are a couple months old at this point, and it's still pretty good.
Well, brewed the end of November. They're all 2 months old.
Yeah.
Mine's 3 months old.
Yeah. Well, okay then.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's all good. No, that's a good point. But I mean, for me, again, there's that lingering sweetness that even in doubles I don't really like all that much. I expect that sweetness to be there in triples. Sparkle Puff, as you were mentioned. I enjoy that beer as an immense amount as well, and it's sweet. But I know it's going to be sweet because it's 10%. I just have an unreal expectation for a lot of IPAs. I just want them to be a little bit drier than they come out. And that's why I never really liked IPA number 5. I thought it was always too sweet. And that's why I don't really prefer number 15, because I find it a little sweet. And it makes sense because there's lactose in it. Although I didn't have that adverse reaction to the lactose taste as I normally do. So they handled this one. They use the lactose very well in this, because outside of adding sweetness, you don't really get anything else from lactose. So anyways, boom. New England IPA, I'll give it an 8.5 for style, and for personal preference, I'll give it a 7.
Nice.
And all of a sudden, this beer chat had a baby.
Yep.
It is a
Yep.
cute
Is he?
baby.
Yeah.
It's a very
There's
good-
little Havana.
I'll go
It's a
next.
very cute baby.
Yeah, go ahead.
Babies,
Go ahead, Mr.
horrifying.
Fuzzy.
I'll go next because I might not be able to be here any too much longer. For an IPA, I actually quite enjoy this beer. It's not poison. It has some fruity taste into it. I can really taste the grapefruit. It goes down smooth. Doesn't have any weird aftertaste in the back. I can see why they decided to reproduce it and go for IPA 15. For personal enjoyment, I'm gonna usually I start at a 5 on IPAs and work myself down. But this particular one, I'm actually going to give a 7. No, an 8. I'm going to give an 8. As for what I'm thinking that an IPA should be, I've had mixed reviews on what IPAs should be. I would think that I wouldn't give this another 8, but usually IPAs are poison to me, so that's why I'm going to take two knocks off on it, not poisony enough.
All right. So is that 8 and 8 from you, Fuzzy?
8 and 8 from the Fuzz.
Nice. And just to clarify, Ashley, you gave it 8.5 and 7, right? Ashley's me.
Yes.
Okay, I see the thumbs up. All right, cool. And we'll say goodnight to little Havana. She's cute.
Night, Havana. Aww.
Aw, isn't that cute? No, he's like, no, I don't want to wade to these beer guys.
She's a sick baby.
Aw, hope she feels better soon. Hey, Mel.
A
Adorable
future
baby.
IPA aficionado.
All right.
She's little Miss Havana's sick, and she's
Aw.
waking up and wants to be down here with Daddy. So
Yep, I
She seems to
understand.
be pretty content just staring at the screen or something right
Yeah.
now.
she loves video calls. Like
Oh.
when I'm at work, she'll get on the video call and she'll be on there for an hour.
Nice.
So I might just I just might just hang out and just watch it. Right? Is that right?
Well, she doesn't understand the language so far, so you're good.
It's probably the colors too. I mean, she's looking like that red shirt that. And looking
Or
at
the-
the orange shirt.
As long as it's the no shirt that Greg usually wears.
And now she's looking at Ashley Sex. It's like that guy looks like a Unabomber.
Hey, if it helps the
God.
kid, I'll take the shirt off.
No, but I will put Greg up there because we want to hear what Greg has to say about this beer.
That's a cute kid. It looks a lot like Nick. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh Jesus
Anyways,
Christ!
what-
Fuck off.
Dick.
Yes, I am. So again, I'm gonna reiterate what was said earlier. Is that IPA number 5 was put on a pedestal because of where it was and when it came out. This is a good beer. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't remember IPA number 5 well enough to know if this is a carbon copy or if this is similar or this dissimilar. I don't remember. I'm sure Chris probably still has a can of IPA number 5 in his basement. Maybe he can open it, and if he doesn't die, he can tell us.
I'll be pretty faded by now.
But as it is, I mean, it's kind of a light. It's got the citrus, but it's more along the lines of an orangey citrus than it is grapefruit, which I actually kind of like. I do get a little bit of the lactose, or at least what I perceive to be the lactose, which does seem to balance the beer with a little bit of sweetness. Otherwise, I mean, it's a really solid beer. Like I feel we're rating against this beer that was put on such a pedestal, and this one is just a decent IPA. So, I mean, what's there really more to say about it? It's, to me, for the style, I think it's a solid 8. It's a really good example of even though they don't call it that, it is a New England style IPA, and frankly, a lot of them taste too much like you're drinking the action of a grapefruit. And this one at least is good. It's got the nice sweetness to balance it. And for my personal preference, frankly, I'm really sick of the style, so I'm not too keen to rate it too highly. So I'm going to give this one a 7.5 for me, which, as far as New England IPAs go right now, it's a pretty solid score. It's
So it's an
7.5. It's
So-
good on the borders. It's good, maybe even very good, but it's not quite a greatness. I have a thanks, Arnold.
Arnold. All right, so you're 8 for the style, 7.5 for overall.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with.
All right.
I got about-
All right, and good work, Arnold.
I probably deserve it.
Alrighty, next up was Miss Lady Lee. Lady Lee, what do you think? How do you like this beer?
So, I never know what to say.
It's all right. No worries. No
There's
pressure.
always, I do. So I know the whole. I can taste the whole like citrusy thing. I kind of do taste grapefruit and pineapple. I know everyone said orange, but I do taste like I think is grapefruit there. Like it feels like I don't know. It just I get a little bit of it. I do agree with Ashley with the carbonation because I was kind of expecting it to have more carbonation as well. So when I poured it, I was like, this doesn't look right, but I didn't want to say anything because I lack the experience. But I do have to agree with everybody. Like it conceals the alcohol well. Like it doesn't seem like this is this percentage of a beer. Like it goes down pretty smoothly. And again, I'm not a beer drinker, and I'm drinking this one pretty quickly. So yeah, I enjoy it. It's not like my favorite, but I definitely do enjoy it. So for my personal preference, I think I'm gonna say 7.5 as well.
Okay.
It's good. Like I can see myself like summer day drinking this just because I like the citrusy, but it's not like blow my mind. And for the style, I'm gonna go for 8, just because it's an IPA. And it tastes like an IPA, and it smells like one too. That is my explanation.
And it smells like one too.
Oh.
That's all that there needs to be, right?
But yeah, like,
It's so true.
and I did want to add something on that thought is that, like, yeah, with these New England IPAs, one of the things I do love about them is they're not super bitter, but they're super juicy. They're a very accessible style of beer, like compared to what IPAs tend to be. Like usually just punch in the face bitter.
Well, yeah, compared to like an old school like hardcore.
Like an original West Coast IPA with
Yeah. like
or something from the IBU wars or something like where they used to pump up.
Drink this and then like follow it up with a bone shaker kind of thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, bone
Hell,
shaker's a good
style.
bone shaker, or like Robo Hop, or
Yeah.
what's the other one? Nickelbrook's Headstock.
Yeah.
Those are all pretty intensely
Headstock's
bitter.
more, yeah.
Does anybody remember Flying Monkey Super Collider?
I think I might have had that.
Yep.
That was a long time
they didn't
ago,
make it
but
this year, though.
yeah, but they
I
made
last
this.
saw it in 2019.
Oh wow, really? I didn't realize they still made it that, because I remember Super Collider was like this hugely like 120 IBU bitter beer punch in the face. But it was
the human palate really can't detect anything past like 100 IBUs. So.
yeah, it like the human. I thought it was like 60 to 80 or something, but like that's what I mean. Like they're just more intensely. It's like hot sauces. Like they're more hotter than you can really discern. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. Thank you. So thank you, Lady Lee, and let's
Thank
move
you.
on to Radlar.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am former alcoholic radar. You might remember me from such channels as Drinking in Canada. This one here, like I said, I think that the consensus. Actually, I got a question first. When did number 5 come out?
Winter. It's like winter or spring of 2018. I think it was the spring. January 2018. That's when it was first brewed.
Yeah. So I can understand why that one was like a very good IPA and people really liked it. It was at the time where IPAs like this one came out, and now everybody's making an IPA which is similar to that, or like every brewery that I know of or that I go to have 5 to 10 different IPAs. It's as if like this one was like a benchmark. for like what IPAs are now in the Ontario craft brewing. So I think that's probably why it's getting such low-ish marks, like 7.5 to 8, because we're now used to so many IPAs that are coming out. For example, when I go to a Dominion City Brewing or a Bicycle Brewery, they have very good taste that is very similar to this one, which I'm guessing is the same taste that the number 5 was, or very similar. But this one here, IPA number 15, is a very solid one. My favorite would have to be number 13 because I gave that one a 9.2 if I remember correctly. Redbeard, I don't know if you remember what I gave on that one. That one was with you. I gave it a very high. I think, yeah. This one is, I would like it to be more stronger when it comes to like a taste of grapefruit and stuff. It's still very, very good. I'm giving it a good 8.216 for overall. Style, 8.1. Very, very nice.
What the fuck is that number?
Okay, what was that again? 8.1.
8.216 is the number that came out of Radar's face hole.
For overall enjoyment, 8.216.
Yep. Style, 8.173.
I'm going to round both of those to 8.2.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, it is a very enjoyable one. However, I think it was priced. I can't remember what the price was. If it was at $3.90 or $4.15.
That's a pretty good deal.
Definitely over 4.
Yeah. So because of the price, I'm going to stick to drinking some Ransack the Universe because I think it's similar and it's cheaper, and some other beers in this area that are cheaper.
Well, this one's a double and the Ransack's a single.
Yeah. Yeah, so you are getting more bang for your buck kind of thing.
Yeah. But or even Sparkle Puff. Triple.
Sparkle Pluff's a pretty good deal.
$4.95.
And it's 10% or something.
But the level of alcohol is like, it's worth it. But no, it's a very solid one. I would probably, if I'm there and I had the money for it, I would definitely buy some more. I like it. It's a solid IPA. But again, I'm used to so many now, ever since that number 5 came out, that I think the mantle has been transferred to other breweries for IPAs. Except Collective Arts will always build these, how can I say, these solid IPAs, and I'll still go to Collective Arts for beer all the time anyways. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I would like to congratulate Schlexicron 6 Omicron, Destroyer of Worlds, for wiping out that village of wife-beating Republicans in Tennessee the other day.
Oh, God. All right, I'm going to move along. I'm going to agree with the first part that Radar was saying. About, like, back in 2018 when this first came out, this literally was one of the first experiences that most of us had with a New England-style IPA. This was a pioneer. And I'm not talking about, like, 15, obviously. I'm talking about the original number 5. Back when we had number 5, there was nothing like it. It was a juicy tasting, not super bitter IPA that was just a different kind of experience compared to what we were used to with IPAs. Now, every brewery and their dog is literally brewing a New England IPA based on how popular. Like, this is basically what popularized New England style IPAs in, well, let's just stick with calling it Ontario because it was only really available in Ontario. But everywhere is making a New England style IPA now. Like almost every single brewery, because it's like the trend. Now we're so used to it that this really doesn't stand out from the pack anymore. It's solid. It's super tasty, but there's better stuff out there. But when you're talking about, this is also a bit of a legend. It's kind of like talking about beers like Pliny the Elder or Heady Topper, and I don't really mean to compare IPA number 6. You're going to hate me for saying stuff like that. But it's just saying the IPAs are completely different. IPAs are completely different from what they used to be. Well, the peak IPA beers that we used to drink back 7 years ago are no longer what we think of as the peak IPAs. And this kind of was one of the leading. This is the leading Canadian brew of that IPA revolution back when it first. Come on, camera, focus. I don't know what it's doing. All right. That said, what do I think about this one right now? Like was already mentioned, I thought it's a very pithy beer. It's got pineapple, passion fruit, apricot. It's very juicy. It's got a medium to soft body, but it's not super carbonated. It goes down super smooth, but it's a bit resiny in the finish. My can is about 2 months old, so and it touches that little bit of sweaty cat pee or kind of bit in the aftertaste. But overall, I think the booze is masked pretty well, and I'm already on my second can, and I almost forgot that this was a double IPA because I'm starting to feel a little bit buzzed from drinking 2 of these. So overall, I think it's a solid. I think it's a solid for the New England style double IPA style. I think it's still pretty well done. I'm going to give it an 8.5 for the style. But overall enjoyment, I think drinking it now, I'm getting that little bit of resiny finish. Maybe this thing's a bit faded. And I'm also, now that I know there's lactose on here, I'm starting to taste the lactose, and I'm getting this kind of like weird, pasty, resiny kind of taste in the aftertaste, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it's not that great. Anyway, now that I'm thinking of it, there's something of a mental block there, so it's like, So, I'm going to give it a 7.5. So that's 8.5 for style, 7.5 for overall. I still really like this beer. But it's already been mentioned and it's been beaten to death at this point that this was a landmark beer when it first came out, but it's just middle of the pack now. I'm going to leave it at that. Alrighty. Whew, what a mouthful that was.
What was your score?
8.5 and 7.5.
I missed it.
8.5 and 7.5.
Maybe you should listen.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh,
Well, I was reading the.
Open your fucking ear holes.
I know, right?
What?
I got to do the math.
can I just say that actually, Lady Lee is very spicy tonight. She's just like dealing. She's taking those sniping shots.
Caliente.
Snort.
Muy caliente?
Before coming on.
It's the IPA that I just drank.
Did you drunk?
Yeah. I just wish that they would do number 13 again. Number 13 was very good.
When it came to that
That's what I meant.
when it came to that whole IPA series, my favorite, like, I actually really like the 8 and the 14 were good too. I don't know. I didn't have the 13, but I thought the 14 was pretty good.
I think I remember getting mad at 7. I think because it was a clone of Ransacked Universe, and it pissed me off because it was like twice, like an extra $1 price point on top of it because it was in the numbered series.
Which was the one where they added peaches to it? Was that 6?
That was 6. I didn't like 6. I think it was 6 anyway.
Millions of peaches.
The one I really didn't care for was 10. The Nano IPA was just super fucking light.
Yeah, that one wasn't great.
Did you say the one I didn't?
For a Nano IPA, okay. Like whereas Nano IPA was generally just garbage anyway. Like it wasn't. It was basically hop water.
Yeah. Brewed IPA wasn't so great, but it was good.
I will just round up the comments, and we haven't had the question yet.
Yeah, we have.
We have. It's there. I see it.
Oh, is it there? Okay. I
What's
haven't seen it yet.
You read the comments, though.
Okay. Rick D says the wizard. Yes, sir.
Cheers, Rich. It's Rich. He's a local guy from Grand Bay. He knows Don Rig 13.
I love the podcast.
And me, I mean.
Rating on your parade is very happy to see you. Says cheers. What's your drinking? I had a Silly knocked earlier, and now a Lagunitas willetized. Basement's in the chat. Says hi, Greg, but no one else.
Hi.
Lee Russell's in the chat. What up? What is up, PP heads? Cheers, Jamie.
Wow.
Cheers, Lee.
It's either Jeme or Jeff.
Oh, Lee. Okay, thank you, Lee. What is next week's beer? That's great. I replied to Rick D's question, what is whatever beer or whatever, and I said sort of what I want right now is a nice Schwartz with a noticeable roast and chocolate note while still being light and crisp. That would be my ideal beer right now.
That'd be good.
Lee Russell says Nick is quite bitter but juicy. He's a walking contradiction.
You know it.
And Ewart comes back to the chat, probably with a glass of water in hand, and says, still blabbing away. This beer doesn't deserve this much chatter, says the man with some bubbly fancy water.
This is the guy sipping Perrier.
Radar is bringing all the views tonight. Just ask him; he'll tell you.
Yeah.
Somebody laughing out loud. Craig says, "Wow, 2018. That's surprisingly recent. I'm not too sure into what comment that was."
Oh, it's probably talking about how old IPA number 5 was.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Radar says 2018 is ancient in beer years. Oh yeah, Chris isn't here tonight. That beer changed his life. Says Radar.
That's true.
was a
It's
beer
true.
that, it was funny because I was going to mention this is a beer that is very approachable to a lot of different people, and they would have just jumped feet in.
Yeah, I remember at the time that Chris was just starting to do reviews too on his channel, and he was basically like just getting into craft beers at the time. So it was like, and before that he drank Coors Light, so it was like that easily accessible beer that kind of changed his life, because now he drinks nothing but craft beer, and now he's poor and broke all the time and going to AA meetings and just can't defeat alcohol. Anyway, whatever.
And then Craig from Camp Beer Review says, depends where you live, Radar.
Yeah, because of the 2018 is ancient beer years. I guess in England is different, Craig, if you're still here, because you always drink Guinness and Guinness only.
Well,
so it's probably you can count time over there in beer years in nanoseconds.
Nano IPAs. Well, here's another hard piece of news that we have to deal with. 2018 was 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
it's no longer thinking like it's 1 year ago. It's 3. Time flies. When Ashes
almost knew what COVID was back then.
Yep.
There was we didn't know what COVID was.
And the last two comments in the chat, Rick D says Double IPA.
Yeah, Double IPA.
Great review.
Double IPA. All right, thank you, Rich. Once this I'll tell you what, fucking Rich, we gotta do some drinking together when this COVID thing lifts. All right. Fucking miss you guys. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the main chat here, and actually, I think the magic question's already been asked, thanks to Lee. But I also want to do the. Where's my screen share button? Here are our scores.
Yay!
Yeah! Whoop, 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 whoop. Who's doing the cheers?
What the fuck?
Does anybody like my can art?
Beautiful.
It's very nice. I like it.
See what I did?
Yeah, I do.
And I drew in a 1.
Nick, we spring never do it again.
It's very clever. You clever boy.
Yeah, anyway.
Clever girl.
Clever girl.
I feel like you're a mother telling the handsomest kid in school.
Right.
Your artwork's good, Nick. It's good.
You shut your mouth.
What the fuck,
You're
man?
calling me sassy tonight. You're sassy.
Jesus Christ. All right.
I'm also sassy, so I feel you're like extra sassy tonight. Like you had some hot sauce or something and you got it in the wrong spot.
She's had it.
All right. So I think everybody's seen it. So it was 8.3 for style, 7.7 overall. Overall, decent beer. That's a decent performance for a beer. Although it's not really like maybe when we reviewed, if we had done an IPA number 5 back when it first came out on Beer Analysis 101, because newsflash, we were around back then.
Yeah,
that's how. Fuck, we're getting fucking old, dude.
1990 was just last year, man.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we graduated only 10 years ago, right?
Only 10 years ago.
Yeah. All right. So, that in mind, I will introduce next week's beer, which is.
Oh, what is it now?
Nope, you're not far off. We're going to do Cracked Canoe.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna change it up, and instead of doing imperial stouts, instead of doing double IPAs like this and stuff like that, we're gonna lighten things up for a week and do some easily accessible lager beer.
The Crack Canoe Light lager. Okay.
Yeah, Crack Canoe. I'm pretty sure you guys can get that in Ontario. Yeah, you might have to go to the beer store for it.
We had it at the restaurant before.
Nice. So you can get a good price on it, probably.
No, I think I've
Like
seen
I
that one
said
at the.
before. It's not there anymore.
I think I've seen that one at
wait.
the LCBO.
Wait a minute. Oh, you mean before, like it's not in stock anymore? Okay, I mean, like I thought you were talking about your restaurant.
I mean, at the restaurant. Like, we had it at the restaurant, but for reasons, we stopped stocking it.
For COVID.
Reason.
I'm guessing COVID.
Yeah,
Well, people in the North States just drink.
Stocking the beer fridge when there's nobody buying the beer. So.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's a good reason not to carry something anymore, is because.
It's almost like it might be a ship beer, but we'll find out next week. By the way, breaking news from 7 hours ago: Arnold Schwarzenegger now has the COVID vaccine, so we're gonna get another Terminator movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has he's the terminated the virus.
I'll be vaccinated.
He's been vaccinated. I also want to give one other shout out if he's still watching. It's Lee's friend Von Wolf. Thank you for the subscription on YouTube, by the way. I will say that I am now sitting at 990 for subscriptions. So yay! I'm almost to 1,000, which is something I've been wanting to do for.
Share it to your friends. Tell them to watch.
Yeah, lady.
Tell them to watch. I am so close to 1,000 right now.
And more of your friends.
Like,
I'll try.
I'll
advertise more.
It's like 1,000. It's like that monumental number that I never thought I'd get to. I mean, fuck, drinking in Canada and Redbeard both overtook me. Like, I've been around for, this is going to be my 10th year on YouTube this year. Which is fucking crazy.
I will do my best. I will advertise as much as I can.
So let's make an announcement. Anyone that subscribes to Nick going forward gets entered into a draw where the winner gets to marry Lady Lee. However, all the losers...
She's quite a prize, you know?
Oh my god, stop it, guys. Nope.
Nope.
What happens if
No.
I already subscribed?
What?
Not
What
happening.
if I already subscribed?
Not
What?
happening. We might
happening?
not see her blush on camera.
Wait, are you telling me, Scott, that you're not subscribed to me?
No, I said, what happens if you're already subscribed?
Well, again, you have to unsubscribe
Thank you.
from Nick.
Subscribing back in. Yeah, that works for Greg logic.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
You also got to unsubscribe from the wife.
What? How could you? How could I?
This is where you subscribe to my channel from your sock accounts, too.
How can I leave this little baby? This little baby right here.
Aw, he's cute.
You and your wife make very cute.
Oh,
It's all about me.
It's all about you. Sure it is.
I make cute babies.
Scott's randomly made them with all kinds of ladies, and they're all pretty babies.
Make more.
Yeah.
Make more.
yeah, but a lot of kids-
Is that, you make cute babies thanks to your wife being prettier than you.
There you go.
Ooh.
A while back, Scott was having some issues, and he had sell some of his guys to make ends meet, and he keeps tabs on all the sales that are made, and he keeps them
Judging.
I'm your donor. Hey, when they turn 13, he comes up. Hey, I don't know if your mom told you, but I'm your donor daddy.
Redbeard, in Canada, you can't sell your sperm.
I didn't say it was legal. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Whole fucking,
Road trip to the States. Road trip to the States. No.
But you're masturbating in a back alley.
Your back alley sperm. He's like, got a trench coat. You're like, want to buy some jizz? Come behind the dumpster.
I hope he at least has a
All right,
or something.
I think that's a good time to take this thing offline and go to an after chat. All right,
Next week, 900 subscribers. Let's go for it.
Come on. Let's see if we can get 10 more subscribers before next week.
900, right? Yeah. Let's do it.
If we get
Let's go for
15
it.
more,
Friends.
mount your friends.
Marry the bearded lady.